आसमां में सिर उठाकर आसमां में सिर उठाकर घने बादलों को चीरकर रोशनी का संकल्प लिए अभी तो सूरज उगा है। विश्वास की लो जलाकर विकास का दीपक लेकर सपनों को साकार करने अभी तो सूरज उगा है। Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. बहुत बहुत स्वागत, आभार, नमस्ते, प्रणाम. Today, when scientists across the world are struggling to reach the sustainable goals for agriculture and running a virtual race with the time to meet those challenges, it's a privilege for us that we are witnessing establishment of a very innovative and game-changing technology here at BRIC-NABI. And what makes this moment even more special is that the visionaries and intellectuals behind this facility are present among us today for the inaugural and for encouraging us. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Rita Sharma, scientist at BRIC-NABI, on behalf of the whole BRIC-NABI family, extend a very warm welcome to Honorable Union Minister of State, Independent Charge of the Ministry of Science and Technology, Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office, and Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space, Government of India, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. Sir, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका, आभार, आदर, अभिनंदन. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries from BRIC, neighboring institute, staff members, faculty, and very enthusiastic students of BRIC-NABI. Now, keeping up with our tradition of Atithi Devo Bhav, I would like to request our Executive Director, Professor Ashwini Parekh, to welcome our Honorable Minister with a bouquet. Please give a huge round of applause. Now we would move on to a very cherished tradition of India, lamp lighting. I request our Honorable Minister and our Executive Director to step forward and light the lamp. दीप प्रज्वलन की ये प्रथा मानवता का आह्वान है एक अलौकिक यात्रा की तरफ, पदार्थ से सूक्ष्म की तरफ, अज्ञान से ज्ञान की तरफ, अंधकार से रोशनी की तरफ. Thank you very much, sir. May the radiance of this flame fill us all with positivity and enthusiasm for years to come. Now I would like to request our Executive Director, Professor Parekh, to give a welcome address, please.
Namaskar. Most respected and honorable Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Minister of Science and Technology, Government of India, other senior colleagues from DBT institution and other neighboring institutions, my dear scientists, staff, administration, and most importantly, the student at NABI. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Today, we are witnessing the inauguration of DBT SPEEDY Seeds facility at NABI and its dedication to the nation by the Honorable Minister. The SPEEDY Seed actually refers to specialized platform for enhanced and efficient delivery of seed for research. First of all, let me put on record my sincere thanks and gratitude to Honorable Minister, sir, who, despite of his extremely busy schedule, has kindly agreed to grace the occasion and also going to guide us with his words of wisdom and inspiration. I would also like to mention that Dr. Gokhale himself wanted to be witnessing this inauguration movement, but due to his urgent meeting, he could not join us. But I would also like to put on record, sincere thanks to him. This facility would not have been possible without the guidance, support, and the inspiration received from Dr. Gokhale, who just could not join us because of busy schedule and other urgent meeting. Sir, the National Agri-Food Biotechnology Institute you have visited and blessed us earlier as well. You're already aware that we are driven by a shared vision of harnessing the power of biotechnology to to address some of the pressing issues which are related to agricultural sector. From feeding a growing global population to mitigating the impact of climate change, and our work is guided by a steadfast commitment to sustainability, innovation, and the impact. Today, we mark a significant leap forward in our pursuit of this vision with the inauguration of our speed breeding facility. The speed breeding facility at NABI represents a paradigm shift in the plant breeding process, revolutionizing the way we develop the new crop varieties and dramatically accelerating the breeding cycle for crop improvement. By harnessing the cutting-edge technologies and innovative techniques, we can now achieve in months what once took years, unlocking a world of possibilities for crop improvement and innovation. But what exactly is speed breeding, and how does it matter for we at NABI? I would like to mention that the speed breeding is a game changer in agricultural research, enabling us to rapidly cycle through generation of plants, select for desirable traits, and develop improved varieties with unprecedented speed and efficacy. By simulating optimal growth conditions and leveraging techniques such as controlled lighting, temperature, and nutrient management, we can actually accelerate the plant growth and development without compromising on quality and other parameters. The implications of speed breeding are profound, and you'll witness that when we start using the facility. From enhancing crop yield and nutrition quality to improving pest and disease resistance, the potential benefits are vast and far-reaching. Speed breeding holds the key to potential benefits, and we are talking about unlocking genetic diversity, breeding resilience, and ensuring food security for generations to come. The speed breeding facility is a testament to our commitment to excellence and innovation. Equipped with a state-of-the-art technology, world-class infrastructure, and a team of dedicated scientists and researchers from NABI and beyond, this facility represents a hub of scientific discovery and collaboration. It is a place where ideas flourish, innovation thrives, and breakthroughs would happen in time to come, as we're going to witness this soon. As we stand on the threshold of a new era in agricultural biotechnology, we must look into the future and with optimism and determination. We must continue to push the boundaries of scientific knowledge, forge new partnerships, and translate research into real-world impact. Together, we have the power to transform the future of agriculture and build a more sustainable, resilient, and food-secure world for all to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goal as proposed by the United Nations. As we embark on this exciting journey, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Dr. Jiten Singh Ji for gracing us with his presence and for his unwavering support of science and innovation, not only at BRIC-NABI, but other institutions and beyond DBT as well. Sir, your passion, dedication, and commitment inspire us all to reach for the stars and make a difference in the world. Sir, the scientific community is thankful to you as you make history every day in the form of exemplary decisions to support scientific and advancement in this country. Be the area of space research, medical science, or agri-science, your vision and in-depth knowledge of diverse areas is quite inspiring. The enabling environment created by the policy decision of allowing the product coming out of gene editing, which was inaugurated last year by Honorable Minister as a training center at NABI, is only one such example which has pumped a new enthusiasm and a ray of hope both in academia and seed industry. Your commitment and action to contribute to the vision program of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, such as increasing the farmers' income or Atmanirbhar Bharat, is known to one and all sitting in the hall and beyond. We are also grateful to Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, who has not been able to come, but has always been full of new ideas, great commitment to bring science at BRIC institutions par excellence. The unconditional support from the Department of Biotechnology in all aspects has made a dream come true. The NABI family is thankful to one and all who have contributed to this speedy seed facility in really a speedy way. Sir, as I mentioning to you, that this facility has been created in a record time of 100 days, which we feel very happy about it and thank everyone associated with this major mission at NABI. Sir, at NABI, we have plans to use this facility to work on gold mine of our country, especially in the form of germplasm, and I just displayed it to you. The land races, the farmer land races, which we have procured from both Jammu and Kashmir and Northeast region. which we are going to use in several programs for breeding and generating technology for ensuring that we have the food and nutritional security. These Himalayan bioresources we are going to use in many ways in years to come in research and product development at NABI and beyond. To conclude, I invite each and every one of you to join us on this journey of discovery, innovation, and impact. Together, let us harness the power of biotechnology to shape a brighter future for agriculture and humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I think he has given a very comprehensive overview of what this facility is going to mean for us and what is its significance, not only for our institute, but also for the country. And those who want to know more about the facility, the infrastructure, for them, our scientists have put together a booklet. So I'll request our dignitaries to kindly release the booklet.
Joy can come. Joy has an instrument. Joy, come down.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request our Honorable Minister, Dr. Singh, to address the gathering, please.
Executive Director Dr. Ashwini Parekh, senior members of the faculty, members of the fraternity, students, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I have to perform the pleasant formal task of congratulating you for this new facility, the National Speed Breeding Crop Facility. I'm adding the word crop for the understanding of the layman and also for the media. That makes it even more specific. And I also must appreciate the manner it's been brought up in a record time of just about 90 days. And I'm sure this must have been a very tedious task. I was asking Dr. Parekh, did you work in double shift? He said, no, it was 3 shifts. So I think we need to applaud him for that. And there's a personal reason why I asked you to indulge in that, because the code of conduct is going to happen in the next few days. So maybe the inauguration privilege would have been deprived. So thank you very much, Dr. Parekh, for giving this opportunity. Now, having said this, I don't know how many of us in this room realize, as far as the government is concerned, the political leadership of the country at present is concerned. Of late, you've heard Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterating time and again the rising above caste, creed, religion. He has identified and is trying to identify only with 4 classes in the country, which, in his inimitable style, he puts it, number 1, the farmer or the Annadata, whom he describes with all the reverence at his command. 2nd, the youth. 3rd, the woman. And 4th, the poor. But more than that also, to add to that, I think, I don't know how many of us realize that when we are addressing the cause of the farmer or the Annadata, we are also directly or indirectly or maybe inadvertently also addressing the cause of the other 3 classes. So when you increase the agricultural yield, you not only add to the economy of the country and ensure food security for the youth, but also provide him livelihood chances through this new genre of agri-startups. As far as the 3rd class of the women is concerned, you are enriching her kitchen with quality crop, and nothing would make her happier than feeding her children with the best nutritional food intake. And when you address all the 3 classes, you automatically also become an instrument of pulling out multitudes of people out of the poverty line. So in a way, I think this is a great national cause also which is being served by way of this ceremonial function this afternoon. And as far as NABI is concerned, I think you should be proud that you are contributing to government's flagship agenda, because this is, as he said, doubling farmers' income, which could actually be more than double if you actually make them understand how best to put it to use. B, you are also offering latest state-of-art technology to improve the quality and the quantity of crop. C, you are also contributing to India's economy through scientific value addition to the traditional vocational methods of farming. So you are actually combining the traditional Indian knowledge with the cutting edge technology. I don't know how many of us have realized that, but that's what this government has been retreating. We have also now in CSIR a traditional knowledge library which has been digitalized and now known as TKDL, a traditional digital library. And after COVID, we became more and more cautious of this synergy which has been accomplished through this. And lastly but not the least, you are also promoting the new genre of agri-startups, which is, I think, peculiar to India, because somehow in certain sections it gets stuck up that startup means only an IT startup or an IITN or a science PhD, which is not so. We have seen in our experience many of the agri-startups are not even graduates, but they have the aptitude, the passion, and they are amenable to understand, grasp the training that you impart in an institute like NABI. So you are serving their cause as well. And therefore, this contribution from NABI will help the progressive farmers to experiment with different varieties of crops by amplification, and also it will serve as a standard facility for researchers. And I don't know whether we realize that we are also indirectly addressing some of the most fashionable issues in the world which give us recognition. That is addressing the issue of zero hunger, addressing the issue of food security. So when you do all the talking that Dr. Parikh has done, maybe the World Forum will not recognize. But when you start off your discourse that, okay, today is the launching of a facility which will address the sustainable goals of zero hunger and food security, you will find the entire world looking up to you. So we are actually doing that, and we should not be hesitant of saying so. So in a way, I think we have now gradually entered in an era that is something we need to make the stakeholders aware, is that an agri-entrepreneur or an agri-startup enjoys the choice to decide what to grow where and when. Well, it sounds something very fancy, but it's actually true. You don't have to wait for a particular season or a particular spot to grow a certain kind of a crop or a certain kind of fruit or flower. And that has happened with all these biotechnology techniques that we have developed of late, which actually have not got propagated to the extent that they deserve to. But we have, as an evidence, a series of success stories happening over the last 1 or 2 years. For example, when this Ram Mandir inauguration happened and the Pratishthan ceremony on the 22nd of January, we had tulips from Palampur, the CSIR lab, not from Srinagar, not from the winter zone as well. So we could actually prove to Lord Rama what kind of biotechnology expertise we have developed. So if we can prove this to Lord Rama and we are not able to convince an ordinary farmer, I think the lacking is somewhere with us. So we need to be more indulging in outreach with the stakeholders. Similarly, because I've been personally visiting all these institutes and labs for my own learning, our CSIR lab in Lucknow came out with a 108-petal lotus. And at my suggestion, I'm glad they heeded the suggestion, they put up a selfie point there, which became quite popular, but didn't make much of buzz. But as the tulip received recognition from Lord Rama, this lotus got recognition from Amitabh Bachchan. So I didn't know, one of the youths one day walked in and he said, "Do you know, sir, this tulip, this lotus had figured in Crorepati, that what is that, Kaun Banega Crorepati." And then he showed me a video, a young housewife being asked this question, that there's an institute in Lucknow which has produced a 108 petal flower. So what is that flower? Genda, gulab, wo the way they do it. फिर लॉ करना नहीं करना किसको पूछना brother in law को पूछना all this thing I'm not familiar but you know because I was waiting for this lotus to be named so she went through all that cycle then that lady was not sure then he said कुछ elimination करना है कुछ 3 का क्या करना something then she said okay if you have to do that better I'll take the chance with lotus and she won. And then she was asked, did you read it in some newspaper? She said, no, I saw it somewhere in the social media. So, the lotus which is not recognized otherwise, produced from Lucknow, and I told this to the director there. I said, at least it's capable of winning a prize in Crorepati. So you should understand the value of what we are doing, the esteem of what we are doing. Since we do not actually realize our own work esteem, and we are not able to share it. But nobody will include it in Crorepati unless they find the worth of it because it's a program which sells on the market ratings. So which means if simply a question has a market rating, what would happen if we start selling it in the right earnest, tell people what is the value of 108, what is the significance of this figure, and what is this lotus growing without the constraints of the climate. And so also, what we are launching today is an initiative into climate change resistant quality crops. You can grow, if you want to have rice throughout the year, you can grow rice. You don't have to wait for the season to have it. If you are a diabetic, you can automatically alter the content. If you are having small kids in the household, you can add iron value and the protein value to this. So this is something which is very fascinating, could have been hardly been imaginable till a few decades ago. So this is all happening because of the mutagenesis, the genetic techniques and the biotechnology, the help. And that is why biotechnology has emerged as a very new area of interest, not only in the researchers, but also in the industry. And this institute, being almost centrally located in the city of Chandigarh, is of course going to cater to the entire country. But more so, this is going to be a huge, huge advantage to the North Indian states of Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu, Kashmir, etc. And I'm not sure whether they are also aware of it. So what I would suggest is that someday we could have a workshop or a kind of a small meeting to get the agriculture experts from these states as well, because most of the times we find that they are not aware of it. In fact, about 7-8 years back, I made a personal effort, because in atomic energy also we had developed some of these techniques to prolong the shelf life, etc. So I reached out to the agriculture ministers of the different states and asked them to send us some experts whom we could train as trainers at Bhava, so they can go home. But not much of a response was seen. So I think we need to repeatedly sensitize because they are not yet amenable to this kind of. So that is what would be a challenge. And of course, NABI is also, I mean, that way you could also be promoting the other good things happening over here, like the Biotech Kisan hubs and the Atal Jai Anusandhan Biotech. So once you promote one facility and it gains currency, the other facilities also get to be known. We have an example of IIIM Jammu, which got to be known because of the lavender. So lavender became such a center of attraction because 3,000 startups got hooked onto it. Prime Minister Modi spoke about it in 1 Ki Baat, 5-7 minutes. At the Republic Day parade at Kartavya Path, there was a tableau dedicated. And automatically, all the other research projects happening in the institute also got attraction. So it's just like you have a Rajesh Khanna in a movie. The movie may be nonsense, but it gets a hit. That's what was happening in the early 70s. So and that's why we promoted this one brand, one product, one lab in CSIR. And this year we have started, I've spoken to Rajesh Gokhale, one product, one institute. So we can have it showcasing for over 50 days. And the next stage would be one product associated with the institutes. So we're not one product 1 week or not one product 1 fortnight, but one theme 1 fortnight. So theme could associate the related institutes also, because you have so many CSI institutes, also biotech institutes, engaged in a similar kind of work. And I think ultimately for better outcomes, just three small observations. One, of course, the integration of all the like-minded institutes, which I've been reiterating, which is not happening. I'm sure even if you go to the other, because this belongs to the Ministry of Science and Technology, if you go to the other institutions of science and technology also, they would not be knowing about it. Leave aside the institutes. Rather, I am one for the extended integration, even beyond the ministry. You have so many such institutes in the private sector also. Second is the sharing of projects, which I mean the common themes. So you have theme-based projects, because COVID gave us a bad experience of one ventilator being developed in every room. I don't know what was happening, and there's so much of wastage of the resources also happens. So we have a common theme. The point is sometimes we do it consciously, sometimes we are not aware, because we don't know what is happening in the next room. So they're working in silos. And third, I am very convinced, I've been saying, even when I sounded a little unorthodox in the earlier times, that we need to have a very, very early industry linkage. You don't have to wait for a project to come to a completion and then start looking for industry. Earlier on, it sounded a little skeptic, because so much of skepticism between the private sector and the public sector. The private sector always thinks of the public sector as, institution of bribe takers. तो फाइल तो तभी हलेगी जब कुछ लेना देना होगा. And the public sector looks at the private sector as a bunch of thieves के लूटने आए हैं. So I told a gathering of both industries and scientists, I said, look here, admit it, don't get into that argument, whether one is thief or not, whether one is bribe taker or not, except you are. But when you are traveling in a bus, the bus has to move on to reach to the destination. The bribe takers, the thieves, even the dacoits have to travel in the same bus. The goal becomes common, the stake becomes common. So if we have a common stake to grow, we cannot grow without each other. And we have proved this in this department itself, in the Department of Biotechnology. The biggest success story which made news across the world was that of the COVID vaccine, DNA vaccine. And I am sure, which is not said so much, one of the biggest reasons of success is that even before you were in the initial phases of trial in that Faridabad Institute, you had already engaged in an MOU with Bharat Biotech. So they were looking forward, waiting anxiously to grab it from you and market it. And that led to the success of it. You could even gift it to the rest of the world. And today you come to be known as the preventive health care leaders, a country which is not even known for health care, where you depend on God Almighty or Mother's blessing to get cured. So we have, the same in this case of lavender, because you had already tied up the perfume industry. And learning from that experience, now they are tying up with the aromatic, the naturopathy medicinal industry as well. So I think that is something which we could do if we could motivate the food industry with a new kind of concept. The food industry is not that provisional store of the yesterday. They could set up showrooms like they have car showrooms. And then in the car showroom, you have separate varieties, separate brands, dedicated separate quarters or separate stalls. You could have a rice stall, you could have wheat stall, and there you could fancifully showcase what is this wheat meant for, what is this meat. And I'm sure, at least for the reasons of being trendy, some people will come forward. Like it happened when the aspartame came in the market, now it's not being used. The marketing was done in such a way that every lady found it fashionable to carry a bottle of sugar-free in her purse, so that when the tea is served, she would fashionably take it out. So I think you have to actually reach out to their imagination, which we can do with the kind of this facility has happened. I mean, it's a remarkable job serving the cause of health, serving the cause of science, serving the cause of research. But in order to make it reach to those for whom it is meant for, because ultimately if the object of the research is to bring in ease of living, convenience of living, or well-being of living for the common citizen, that is what we need to do, so that I'm sure, and the government is now conscious of that. I'm glad under Prime Minister Modi, this dispensation has actually acknowledged that, is promoting that, and that is the reason we had a very short vote of account this year, because this is election year. The budget would come somewhere later in July, August. Even in that brief vote of account, there was a special mention for an exclusive scheme for bio-manufacturing. which normally doesn't happen. Governments in a small 3-paragraph vote of account would not mention about scientific projects, that to biotechnology projects, which is not a very commonly understood, because that 3-paragraph has to be more populist while going to the election. But in spite of that, and I think that entire credit goes to Prime Minister Modi, because he has gone for prioritization depending on the value and the merit, not on what the populism criteria would dictate. And if that is the kind of prioritization we are getting from the political leadership, I think now it's up to us to make the best use of it, because, and the bioeconomy is also on rise. We were just about $10 billion in 2014. Now we have gone up 130 billion. 13-fold, 130 billion. And that's because more and more youngsters are also taking to this. There was a time about 2-3 decades back, nobody understood what is biotechnology. Whether it's biology or technology, it's engineering or medical. It went all vague. Now a survey was conducted a few years back, and they found it one of the 5 or 6 preferences even for class 12 boys and girls. So in a milieu like this, I think we have one of the best times to contribute. And as the Prime Minister has been saying that we are on the ascent in the next few years, I mean in the next term of Prime Minister Modi, this is going to be 3rd economy, we are already 5th. And then of course the top. And I'm sure bioeconomy is going to contribute hugely to that value addition in our economic growth. And when it happens, we at NABI should have the confidence to take pride. Look here, this SPEEDY facility also contributed to the speedy growth of India's economy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Far. Sir, I think he has taken beautiful examples from all range of life, crops, flowers, vaccines, perfumes, medicines, food, to remind us of national priorities, to remind us of the importance of the outreach activities, and to remind us of being aware, the importance of being aware of the natural wealth that is surrounding us. Thank you, sir. And he's also very clearly highlighted the value of collaboration between academia and industry. And I'm sure the scientists at BRIC-NABI will leave no stone unturned to realize the collective dream of Viksit Bharat. Thank you, sir. So as a mark of gratitude, respect, we would have a token for our Honorable Minister. So I request our Executive Director to kindly present a token of appreciation and a shawl to our Minister, Dr. Singh. Now, as we reach towards the culmination of this ceremonial evening, I request our Executive Director, Professor Parikh, to kindly conclude.
Thank you very much, Rita. It's my pleasure and honor for me to place a formal vote of thanks. First and foremost, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji. As all of you know, this is a very busy time for him, and I'm very thankful to you, sir, on my personal behalf and on behalf of the institution, that you could spare your valuable time and guide us with your inspiring word and word of wisdom. Thank you very much. I also want to thank Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Secretary of Biotechnology, who just could not join because of his emergency. But I think the representative from DBT is there, Dr. Gandhar Nagpal, who is representing DBT. Thank you very much for coming over here. ASNFA, Shri Vishwajit Sahaji is also thankfully acknowledged, who made sure that we have funds available and the 100 days target could be achieved because we had no issues, no problem related to fund flow, which flowed very smoothly, and we could continue payment to the supplier on time. The technical committee, who I think spent day and night in deciding that what we have at SPEEDY facility is state-of-the-art technology. They had to visit several places. They had to discuss. Dr. Vishwanathan Chinnuswamy from IARI, Dr. Praveen Chuneja from PAU, Dr. Vikas, Dr. Uma Maheshwari, and Jaspal from CDAC. The team of these scientists actually worked day and night to come up with the specifications so that we have the best technology available within the funds we had. I would also like to thank one and all at NABI, especially Dr. Joy K. Roy, who was very instrumental day and night in establishing this facility, who have been working with me without any tireless effort. And thank you very much, everyone. Team at Savir Biotech, who's the company which manufactured this wonderful facility. I'm aware that some of them had to visit abroad as well to bringing some knowledge, some technology, so thanks to them as well. And all those who are present here, my friend from ICER is here, and many of my colleagues and friends who have joined online. I would like to thank one and all for being over here and to witness this wonderful day when we are moving in a special era when we talk about SPEEDY facility. I hope that this facility will contribute a lot to our ongoing project and give us new direction and new product for sustainable agriculture in India. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request you to stand on your seats for the national anthem, please. Thank you very much. Before signing off, I would like to just say 2 lines. सुलभ नहीं होता पाना ऐसे भावी अध्यक्ष, सुलभ नहीं होता पाना ऐसे भावी अध्यक्ष, आयोजन सार्थक हुआ, अब सार्थक होगा लक्ष्य. Thank you. Please join for refreshment outside.